Hello everyone and welcome to Salt Channel. In today's video, I will tell you how to always get the best pieces of tech that would cover all your needs. In my life, I always was picky about the tech I buy because I usually wanted to get the best deal from all the possible variants. I created a framework in my head, how in 8 simple steps to choose any type of tech you want to buy. And this framework will always give you bang for the buck deals on any type of tech you want to buy. For each step, I would add 2 examples. One would be my monitor and the other one would be a camera, because it's an extremely versatile product and they could be both used for work and for your personal needs. Also, it has an upgradable path like PC for example. And camera serves dual purpose. You could shoot video, you could shoot photo, and the competition in this market is extremely high. When it comes to choosing technology, it's important to start by identifying your purpose. Any piece of tech is covering some of your needs. At least focus on few of them could make your choice much more easier. So, I would suggest you to write down the things that are the most important to you and what you want to buy right now. Think well about it, because the right priority would lead you to the best possible decision on purchasing things. Let's talk about examples. For my monitor, I was looking for 32-inch, 4K, and IPS panel. These things were most crucial for me, and I dropped everything that doesn't fit to this criteria. As a person who shoots YouTube videos and have an extensive photography experience, I wanted my camera to be as versatile as possible, but I still would prioritize video shooting on camera over the photos. Because this is exactly why I am buying camera. I want to shoot YouTube videos. The next step is identifying your budget. It seems pretty easy, but sometimes your budget could not cover all the features you want. Also, if you want to get the best deal possible, you should take a look on used market first. Because if you're looking for something that is built to last and do not have a lot of technical issues, this might be the best choice for you. If you would get a used thing, you could save around 15 to 30% and the condition would be like new. Even the product might even have some warranty on it. The other thing to watch is if you couldn't pack all your features inside your budget in a new stuff, you might take a look on the previous generations. If it covers all your needs, you could save up to 50% just by buying a product that was 2 or 3 years old. This trick could save you up to 50% of your budget. And this means you can get some other types of accessories that would elevate your experience using the product you choose. In your budget, this could be even better than buying a new tech. Now let's talk about my experience. I bought this monitor with 50% lower than retail price and it has extended warranty for 5 years. So actually, this was a great deal for me. I would suggest you to check if you have something similar on the items you are looking to buy. Buying the camera was a bit different because cameras usually sold with a lot of accessories that are coming for free. Because if you're selling your camera, you do not really need your camera back anymore. So I got this camera in a big bundle of different stuff. After selling all the things I do not need, I ended up getting the camera 25% less than it cost, and it was absolutely bonkers deal. The third step usually takes the most amount of time from me, especially when I'm trying to buy something on the market I do not know anything about it. And right now being a first-time buyer of something is definitely pretty hard, because you have a lot of marketing stuff all over the place. We are here to define the best way not to fall into marketing and get the best product for you. If you think this video is helpful, subscribe to my channel and leave a comment how it helped you to choose wisely. As we identify the product we want to buy and our budget, it's time to deep dive into features of the products. Usually, I do it with one simple trick. I just go and see enormously expensive product of the brand. For example, if you're looking to buy a TV, go and check the most expensive TVs the brand made. This would give you an understanding of top-notch features the company offers And when you would look for a TV that is not so pricey, you could understand what is missing and is it important for you. This would give you the whole picture of industry you are looking at. The process here is similar to step 1. You should identify all the features that you feel you need and that they are non-negotiable to you. So you would not accept anything that doesn't back with this feature. The second thing, you should identify the features that might be a plus for you and prioritize them. Because at the end of the day, you probably might find a lot of products that have pretty similar spec because of the competition. And these bonus features could help you easier make your decision of choosing one product over another. Because even with the budget, you would never want to spend everything on the product. So by narrowing the options, you would be able to see if some features are worth the extra money you want to spend. If you want to buy a TV, monitor or a headset, I would really recommend you to check the site rthings.com. They would provide you with a lot of options, have a very good system to test the items, so it would be easier to you to compare two near to similar variants and understand what better fit your needs. Let's jump to my examples. So with the monitor, I wanted 32-inch, 4K, 144Hz and IPS panel with HDMI 2.1. There is not a lot of options like this, because usual gamers prefer 27-inch 4K and not a lot of PC players could play 4K because it's very expensive in terms of getting a top-notch GPU. Another thing that was pretty important for me is to get USB-C in my monitor with alt mode capabilities and charging, so I could connect my MacBook with just one cable, charge it and use my monitor as a USB hub. This is extremely helpful. And when I narrowed down all these variants, I ended up with just one monitor at the time. It was Gigabyte M32U and I literally have no other options to buy. At this point, I just overcome 3 steps and I already know my best choice and there was no way I would get something else. With the camera, it was different. I wanted a must-have feature, shooting 4K at 30 frames per second. And I find out there is a lot of marketing tricks companies are doing. They could tell you the company shoot 4K 30 frames per second, but the image would be cropped, for example. And this was very different from camera to camera. And while deep diving, I find so much useful features that could be packed in a camera. For example, the red light that show me that I'm right now recording this video is extremely helpful. The other thing that's extremely helpful, I've recorded this video as a one cut and then cutting it on post-production and making it seamless. So I need to use some batteries, but right now I am just charging my camera with USB-C cable and I could not run out of battery. This is very helpful. So when you're starting to deep dive, you would find a lot of new features you never thought existed. And this would also help you to create much more better decision on getting one or other product. Step 4 is user experience with the product. Some products require a learning curve to understand, or could be limited by company on purpose, which is easy to miss. Actually, I had been in this situation once. This thing is mostly applicable for people that are not tech savvy and do not want to deep dive in menus, settings, tons of different features and so on. And this is mostly rely for products that are in line between consumer products and pro lines of products, so kind of prosumer products when companies trying to feed for both markets. Always check how friendly the product is for new if you are a new user. Sometimes you might have tons of settings, and if you're not a pro in this, you just couldn't understand what they do. And you should ask your question, do you really need so advanced product? As for companies limiting their own products and purpose, I have 34 ultra-wide Dell monitor before. The model is right here. The native aspect ratio of this monitor is 21:9, but there was a software lock, so you could not put it into 16:9. So I could not play my Xbox using this monitor. And here you could see the answer of the Dell. This was very disappointing. In general, I would say you should know before buying that the product would fit into your workflow. Just check a few different reviews and common problems with the product. So some of the things that are common problems might show you that this product is just not for you. Now let's talk about micro step 5. It's very small. It's about compatibility. So make sure that the tech you want to buy works with the tech you have. For example, I have this Gigabyte M32 monitor, and there is no way for me to update the firmware on the monitor, because the update is only possible if you have a Windows laptop. And it's pretty frustrating, but you need to deal with something. Checking reviews is step 6, and it is actually a pretty big pillar. This is one of the things why I started a YouTube channel, because while I was watching a review, the reviewers didn't answer my questions that I want to know answers about. The process of reviewing and comparing a few pieces of tech you might choose above should be based on the features you are identifying the most important. And this would help you to find the answers to your question. If you want the monitor to be sharp while you're reading some text, just find a review that would answer your specific question. Do not give a lot of credibility to top lists, because they are usually used by companies as a paid advertisement, and this would help them to highlight the features that they are using to stand out from the competition. Important thing to get from the review is how reliable is the product and what common problems it have. And this is absolutely crucial if you want to get a product from the used market. Usually, for what I look is longevity and price depreciation. The thing we own rarely costs us just the buy price. So here is a formula how we can understand the real value of the product and the real price we're paying to use it. So the formula is pretty simple, it's here. So buying price minus approximate selling price divided by amount of time you would decide to use this piece of tech. And here's an easy example. If we get an iPhone for $1,500 today and sell it in 1 year for $1,300, so our price of using the iPhone would be $200 per year. And if we get a Samsung for $1,000 today and sell it in 1 year for $700, our cost of use actually is $300 per year. So you should understand that spending money on tech usually involves selling the tech in the future. And this shows us that sometimes you could buy more expensive product, but when you would sell it, you would get more money back, and it's ended up for you cheaper in terms of using costs. Usually, this applies to some small appliance or some stuff like this, or some very cheap tech. You could get kinda great deal, get something for 30% cheaper, but the longevity, how much you could use it, would be much smaller, and the date rate could become much more faster. So you probably might lose more money on buying the cheap stuff. Last but not least is the upgradeability pass. This is not applicable to everything, but it's very important if you buy a camera or PC or join some manufacturer ecosystem. Always think how easy it would be upgrade something in your tech, not changing everything else. Now let me show you how this affected my choice of the camera. So it's pretty straightforward. If you're coming to camera world, you have only 3 options. It's Sony, Canon and Nikon. I was able to drop Nikon pretty fast because they are chasing the competition in terms of video right now, but they are still great for photography. The next main thing was understanding the lens systems of Sony and Canon. Every camera and lens have a mount. You could understand it as some type of connector between two of them, and if it doesn't fit, you just couldn't use a lens on your camera. So Sony for years have one type of connection between the camera and lens, and this type of connection is not proprietary. This means that other manufacturers can create lenses for Sony. So this usually leads to more competition and cheaper lenses because they are not directly from the manufacturer Sony. Canon just changed their mount. So this means I could not use old lenses from Canon that I could buy used without an adapter. That's an extra cost for me. And the other thing, they made this proprietary, so there is no other manufacturers of Canon lenses, and this would make them much more expensive, because they would have a monopoly on these lenses. That's why I ended up with my Sony ZV-E10 with actually around 25 to 30% discount, because it was used and condition is like new. Leave a comment with what tech you are looking to buy and what framework you used to find out what would work the best for you. Also, subscribe to my channel. In conclusion, I would like to encourage everyone to use this blueprint of buying tech, so you could make much more smart choices and always hit a jackpot in terms of value.